So I went shopping today, bought some stuff. Decided to bring my camera along because every time I go past Tesco's on Cowley in Oxford, I always see this absolutely stunning Kawasaki ER6N, which I really, really like, and it's something I could really see myself buying when I pass my 80 in the next month. Bike itself, 649cc, 70 brake horsepower, so you can limit it, and then when you do your full test, you can take the limiter off and have a whole new bike basically. They're quite pricey though, that's the problem. I think they go from about 3.5 to 6,000 second hand, and they're 5.6 new now. They're getting on a bit. I think they're 2012 they came out first. MCN raves about them. Great starter big bike, I think, and I think they sold really well. I think they did Kawasaki good. You don't get as much as you get with other bikes. I mean, if you're gonna get any budget A2-ish bike, you're always going to get a little bit less than the rest. I think you can get an ABS option. Don't know how hard it would be to get them second hand, but you can't complain with what you're getting. The bike looks nice, and I think it'd do everything well. Then next to it, this is quite a nice surprise, conversely, was the CG125, a bike I really wish I'd got as my first bike. They go for about 800, but they're one of the older ones that you don't really want, to about 2,500 for one of the ones that you've seen here, and it's a Honda, and it just goes and goes and goes. You couldn't ask for much more as a first bike. I mean, they're not very quick. I think they've got 12 horsepower from 124 cc's, but that's all you really need. I think you're limited to 14, aren't you? So there's not much you can do, and reliability wise, they're not going to break down. I had a look at it, there was barely any rust, some light surface rust on the old exhaust, and a little bit on the brakes, but that's nothing that you couldn't look after yourself, get rid of. The bike was in really nice nick as well, and I think it's just so much better to get a nice CVT bike, to get something Japanese that's going to run and run and run, isn't going to cause you many problems, in comparison to getting a new Chinese bike, because as you can see with mine, it's absolutely shit. And another thing I wanted to point out, another thing I saw but sadly didn't get a look at, a bloke drove past, an older bloke had his full licence on a Aprilia 125, one of the old two-strokes RS125s, and those things are lovely, and I know that's what every single 17-year-old when they get their CVT wants, and it's what I wanted when I did my CVT 2 years ago, but they're absolutely the most unreliable things you've ever seen in your life. And I think that if you're going to get a CVT, if you're going to do your CVT and you're going to get a bike, get a 4-stroke, make it a Honda, and then work from there. If you're not going to do the next part of your license, maybe get a 2-stroke and take it out on the weekends. Have that as your nice quick bike. But riding it every day, it's going to break down on you somewhere you don't want it to break down, and you're going to be fucked. Whereas the Honda's just going to keep going and going and going. So yeah, there were 2 quick things. Glad it worked out that way. So you got something I might want for my A2, and something I think you should have from my experience of my CVT. Thanks.